Recently, two friends came to me with the exact same problem. They were top performers, great reviews, hitting deadlines, doing everything right. So they asked a simple question: can I work remotely? And both got rejected almost immediately. The manager said, if you're remote, you are going to slack off. Now, think about that for a second. Even after proving yourself, your company still doesn't trust you enough to work from home. So what do you do when your request to go remote gets denied? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Evian. I'm a product designer, remote consultant, and digital nomad who's been working remotely for more than 4 years while living in Hong Kong and working with companies around the world. On this channel, I share everything I've learned about building a remote career, creating more freedom in your work and life, and navigating the realities of modern work. So if that's something you are interested in, consider subscribing. Now, let's talk about what you can actually do when your company tells you that remote work isn't an option. Well, if you're already planning to jump ship and find a remote job somewhere else, congrats! Honestly, that's probably what I would do too. But let's be realistic for a second. In today's economy, it's not always easy to leave immediately and land another remote role overnight. Some people need stability right now, some people are trying to save money, and some people have family responsibilities, visas, rent, insurance. Life is just complicated. So if that's your situation, first of all, yes, sometimes you do have to suck it up for a little while. But you should also understand this. Sucking it up for too long slowly destroys your happiness, especially if deep down you already know the lifestyle you actually want. And honestly, if the benefits your company offers aren't completely life-changing for you, then I would approach the situation like this. Option 1, propose a remote trial period. This would honestly be my first approach. Instead of asking for a permanent remote work immediately, ask for a trial period. Maybe 1 month. During that month, make everything extremely clear between both parties. For example, you'll reply to messages within 30 minutes. You'll stay online during working hours. You'll continue hitting deadlines, and you'll communicate very proactively. Basically, remove as much uncertainty from their side as possible. A lot of employers are scared of remote work because they think, if I cannot physically see you, then you are probably not working. So your job is to eliminate that fear. And during that 1 month, you overperform. Not in a very toxic or burnout way, but in a way where they clearly see, oh wow, this person is actually more productive remotely. I actually did this with a client before. They were skeptical about remote work in the beginning, so we created a very clear agreement and expectations for the trial period. By the end of it, not only did they continue my remote contract, they even asked me if I could mentor other employees on how to work remotely effectively. That's the thing people don't realize. Remote work is a skill. Communication is a skill. Self-management is a skill. Async work is also a skill. And a lot of people in traditional offices have never learned the skills before. Option 2, transition into freelance or contract. Another option people forget about is this: long-term freelance or contract work still exists. I know freelancers who've landed 1 year or even 2-year contracts with companies. And honestly, that's sometimes longer than people stay in stable full-time jobs now. The difference is as a contractor or freelancer, you are slightly outside the company structure. You are there to deliver results, not to sit in a chair from 9 to 5 pretending to look busy. And because of that, freelance and contractor roles are very often remote. As long as you finish the work and provide value, most companies don't care where you are. Now I know what you're thinking. But freelancing feels less secure and less stable. And trust me, I used to think that too, especially because of things like insurance and benefits. I used to be very terrified of losing those things. But after becoming self-employed, I realized, I can actually figure out most of the stuff myself. For example, insurance. One of my previous employers offered insurance, but they only cover part of the premium. I still had to pay an amount out of my own pocket every month anyway. Later on, I realized there were plenty of plans I could have chosen myself as a freelancer or sole proprietor. I just needed to research it properly. And in some countries, you can even write parts of it off on your taxes. So sometimes we mentally attach ourselves to corporate security because it feels safe, when in reality, we are already paying for a lot of it ourselves. And you're right, freelancing is not very stable. But staying in an environment that's slowly draining your mental health also has risks. People forget that part. Here's another thing that can actually help when you pitch this to your employer. If you transition into a contractor or freelancer role, they don't immediately lose you. They don't have to spend months hiring again, train a replacement, or deal with the chaos of someone new wrapping up. You already understand the system, you already understand their product, their workflow. So for the company, it actually becomes a very smooth transition. And for you, you get to slowly move toward the life you actually want. So it becomes a bridge instead of a dramatic overnight leap. And sometimes companies are way more flexible than people think. But if only you position the conversation correctly. And if none of the above works, then honestly, it may be time to move on. Because if they completely refuse every possible compromise, every trial period, every flexible arrangement, then the issue probably isn't your performance, it's their mindset. Some companies simply do not trust employees unless they can physically see them sitting at a desk. And those environments usually don't change quickly. So if you're watching this video and deep down you know you don't want to spend your entire life trapped in a cubicle, then eventually you need to start building your exit plan. That could mean you go out, network more, and build skills online, create a portfolio, reach out to people globally and freelance on the side, or just meet people who already live the kind of life you want. Because once you see another way of living, it becomes really hard to pretend you don't want it anymore. And honestly, there are companies out there that truly value output over physical presence. You just have to find them. Hope this helped, and I'll see you in my next video.